We're all different from one another. As a youth peer supporter, it's important for you to respect and work well with people who are different from you, and even value all the ways that people are different. Feeling comfortable and equipped to work in partnership with people who are different from you is a skill that needs to be learned, practiced, and regularly reflected upon. Here are a few tips that may help you as you learn and grow. As a youth peer supporter, it's important for you to remember that it's impossible to know everything about someone just by looking at them, or making guesses about how they might understand or respond to something based on what you can see. Think of it like an iceberg. No two icebergs are exactly the same, and we can typically only see the tip of the iceberg above the surface, which means that most of the iceberg is invisible beneath the water. When it comes to people, there are some noticeable ways that we differ, such as skin color, language, and clothing. But there are also many characteristics and experiences that make up who we are that are invisible, such as our values, spiritual beliefs, goals, skills, and gender orientation. Keep in mind that there's more to diversity than meets the eye. It's important for you to take time to look beneath the surface so you can really learn about and support your peer. A little bit of self-reflection goes a long way when working across differences. We all have multiple and overlapping identities, such as our gender, sexuality, ability, race, and class. These identities make up who we are and shape how we see and experience the world. By reflecting on your personal identities, you can be mindful of what you bring with you to the peer support relationship. It's also important to acknowledge and respect that your peer likely brings something different. You also need to reflect on your past, including things you've experienced and how those experiences have affected you. It's particularly important for you to reflect on any experiences you've had with stereotypes, prejudice, discrimination, and oppression. Stereotypes are generalizations made about a group of people without respect for individual differences. For example, assuming that all teenagers are messy is a stereotype. Stereotypes often come from our own biases, whether we're aware of them or not. Prejudices are the conscious or unconscious beliefs we might have about someone simply because they belong to a certain group. An example of prejudice is not liking someone because they don't share your religion. Discrimination is when someone acts on a prejudice to deny the rights, opportunities, or resources to someone because of their membership in a group. Some examples include racism, homophobia, ableism, ageism, and sexism. Finally, oppression occurs when many acts of discrimination are carried out against a group over time. Remembering where you've come from will help you reflect on how your experiences have impacted you and shaped you to the person you are today. It'll also allow you to be mindful of how your past experiences might impact the peer you're supporting, as well as the support they want or need to receive. Last but not least, it's important for you to be mindful of your power and privilege. Peer support is often considered a more balanced relationship than the traditional helping relationships, which can be hierarchical, where one person has more power and control than the other. But there can still be an imbalance of power and privilege, particularly if you're in a paid peer support position. This isn't your fault, and it's not necessarily bad. It's just something to be aware of because it can influence your relationship. Because of this, you should avoid engaging in a sexual or romantic relationship with the peer you're supporting, as this can confuse your role in their life and get in the way of the support you're providing. Remember, we're all different. As a youth peer supporter, you need to keep an open mind, accept differences, and value the person you're supporting. Treat your peer with kindness, warmth, respect, and dignity, just like you'd want in return. Thanks for watching. Up next, supporting your peer through a crisis.